Hello Stampin' friends, it's Ayana Johnston here with another check this out video tutorial to show you. I'm back and I'm back making a bunch of cards again. Now I have been busy with my son's graduation as I made cards and relatives were here. It was a little crazy, but it was a lot of fun. Now I can go back to having some time to make all of these wonderful cards. I want to show you my son's graduation invitation that I had made. I sent out 60 of these. It was a lot of fun doing it, a lot of work, but I kind of did it gradually. Then I also did a thank you card that are going out. They're all different, so it's kind of fun to do a quick thank you card. But today I want to show you this card I'm doing for a friend of mine, her graduation, her daughter's graduation coming up. And this card is really nice because it's very versatile. You can do congrats to you, you can do a birthday, wedding. It's just one of those things that has a lot of versatility. So in order to make today's card, I'm going to show you what you need. So for today's card, you're going to be using 2 stamp sets. We're going to be using the good old tin of cards stamp set to help the glare of that. And on the tin of cards, for the one sample I just showed you, I used a congrats to you, but for today's card making, I'm going to show you a happy birthday. I'm going to use happy birthday for this one. Then you're going to need Eastern Beauty, a new one that came out in the catalog, and oh my goodness, it's got a lot of things you can do with it, so you'll definitely see more from me with this. But I'm going to use this little design right here, and then I'm going to use the star over here. Then I use the coordinating framelits that go with it, the Eastern Medallion framelits. And what I did was I used this whole circle package right down here below to make this card. For cardstock, you're going to need a sheet of the brand new Berry Burst. And oh my goodness, I love the brand new colors because I'm a bright, bold person. So for this card, you're going to need a sheet of Berry Burst cut at 5.5 by 8.5, and you're going to score that at 4 1/4. Then you're going to need 2 sheets of the Sweet Sugar Plum to go with this. And this sheet is cut at 4 inches by 5 1/4. Then you're going to need another sheet cut at 3.5 by 3.5. Then you're going to need a sheet of Whisper White, and the Whisper White is going to be cut at 3.5 by 4 3/4. Then just some additional little supplies. You're going to need about a 4.5 inch piece of the woven ribbon, ribbon, the Fresh Fig. Then you're also going to need to get some clear faceted gems, and then you're also going to want to get some of the rhinestone gems as well. Then after that, you're just going to need 2 ink pads, and the ink pads are going to be Berry Burst and Sweet Sugar Plum. Okay, oh, a little bit of noise there. Let's get started making the card. So in order to make this card, first you're going to want to take a scrap piece of paper, and you're going to want to take your 3.5 by 3.5 sheet of Sweet Sugar Plum, and you're going to want to stamp on it. So I just took a stamping sponge and just lightly, I'm just making little stamp marks all over. There's no rhyme or reason to this. Next, you want to take your Big Shot with your precision plate, and you're going to want to take your piece of paper and line up the medallions right on this piece of paper. So I've got my big circular medallion, and I'm lining that up in the middle of the paper. Then I take the next circular medallion and line it up the best I can there. And I take the third circular medallion. I just put it right in there like so. I'm going to run that through my Big Shot real quick. And then there, look, now I have my medallion flower. One last thing I have to do in my medallion flower, I just have to cut out the little pieces of the circle. And there you go. And for those of you, and I like a little darker, a little more color on there, I'm going to just go ahead and take my sponge and I'm going to make it a little deeper color. I'm going to use the berry burst to just make it a little deeper. Next, we're going to put this aside, and then I'm going to ink around my edges using the berry burst around the white cardstock and around the sweet sugar plum cardstock. Now, right down below here, using my sweet sugar plum, I'm going to take my sentiment here that says happy birthday, and I'm going to stamp right below at the bottom here. Okay, so there's my sweet sugar plum at the bottom. Next, I'm going to take my ribbon and put it right above at the top here, and I'm going to adhere it using some glue dots. You can use fast fuse for this as well. Fast fuse works really well too. Now I'm going to move it just slightly lower so my happy birthday is right at the edge. And now just to have one more little glue dot in the middle to make sure it just stays put. Okay. Next, I'm going to go ahead and adhere my flower. And what I did to adhere this flower, I went ahead and put a bunch of stamping dimensionals on it. And you got to cut them really, you need kind of the edge of the stamping dimensionals here. And then one in the middle, because we're going to cover that up with a gem here. Okay. Then I have these 2 points right here facing at the bottom. That's usually how it fits the best. Now I'm going to add my rhinestones and my faceted jewel here. Hope I had the wrong size. Next size up. And I did the wrong size on this one, so I'll just switch that out real quick. Second to the smallest. Next I'm going to take my little kind of squiggly looking corner with my berry burst, and I'm going to stamp the corners, and then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to stamp up here and down here with the star. Now I'm going to go ahead and add just a few more rhinestones. And now I'm going to adhere it. I'm going to adhere this to my card base, which I just need to fold real quick. And there you go. Look at that, isn't it beautiful? Well, I had a lot of fun making this card. I hope you enjoyed it too. Be sure to check out my blog and you'll see some more cards coming your way. Be sure to check out my specials that I have going on as well. As you know me, I always have some nice specials going on. Happy stampin'!